Chicago, we have our honored guests from Ohio, from Detroit, right, brothers from the Great Millstone. And first and foremost, we'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh,
double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers that's doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than never. All right, the would-be judges, the scattered elect, all right, the scattered elect who are the tabernacle of David, Amos 9 and 11, all right, who are being set up here on earth to be the rulers over all mankind, right, to usher in the kingdom of heaven under the authority of who the world fraudulently and falsely calls JC. His name is Yahweh. All right, and to the rest of the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. This is not a black only thing. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, we say Shalom. We're just going to jump right into this thing about Shem and Sem. All right, because we all are aware, we're here within the English language. As a matter of fact, I think that's pretty much across the board. If someone can look that up, that the languages don't
proper names.
the proper nouns and proper names don't translate. All right, all it takes for you to watch the news, and and they'll be speaking in Russian, and then they'll say Donald Trump, or they'll be speaking in English, and then they'll say Vladimir Putin. Proper names don't translate. So you're going to take the highest name that there is,
right,
and transliterate it. No, they did that to hide it. All right. So I have a couple things that I Googled.
Do you want me to just get that real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Proper nouns, names of specific people, places, or organizations generally are not translated, but rather preserved in their original form, often via transliteration, adjusting to a new alphabet, while personal names, for example, John, rarely change across languages. Geographical locations and historical figures may have established equivalents in target languages. For example, Paris in English versus Paris in Spanish. So basically, like the elder said, they generally are not translated. And if they are, they're transliterated, where we'll say something in Hebrew, and we'll say that, we'll put the Abba to whatever the word, and we'll translate it. It's still the same, but it'll be with the sounds that we're associated with. So it will be a transliteration. But there is no, if you like, matter of fact, if you wanted to get the Russian broadcast again about Michael Jordan and the Olympics, what happened?
Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and what they said was Mike was the GOAT.
That shit sounds too sloppy.
All right.
That shit was too Eastern.
Real quick, could somebody get 2nd Ezra 6 and 27? Because that's what's coming down, and then they what happened, that whole incident that took place over in Australia, which they stopped showing. If you notice, they almost taking it. They're not really showing it to you anymore, even though they'll talk about it and use it as an excuse. Especially once the guy with taking the selfies and the images of him laughing and they putting the makeup on him,
right.
and the background cameras. It was a complete psyop, and it was a complete false flag event. All right, and the world knows that. So it's funny how, as you notice, the next day it just disappeared. It was, when stuff is hot, it stays in your feed. Mm-hmm. It wasn't in anybody's feed. I mean, I clicked on my computer. Typically, what you watch, I watch a lot of jiu-jitsu, so it's jiu-jitsu videos, but then there's a lot of GMS, and then a lot of those geopolitical people. The Patriot Nurse and Kim Iverson, Kundis Owens, Amazing Lucas, all these people that I'm watching. Their videos popped up, but nothing about the shooting that took place in the Oi land. That none of that popped up, and so the basically that story had more holes in it than Swiss cheese. So I don't want to get in trouble talking about too much about that, but they're using an incident to attack street preaching now. All right, for anyone who hadn't heard. So if you know, so if teachers, preachers, street preachers, and we've always known that we've been the target all along.
That's right.
All right, and now they finally found a way. Now that's not in America yet, but it's definitely in Australia and the UK, and you know that they're eventually going to bring that here. And my whole thing is that, well, you know, it's outside of the insults. We don't even really spend them. Well, we probably do insult you because it's fun, but the truth of the matter is we spend more time teaching the truth about the matter than we do insulting.
That's right.
All right, and so it's not. And then when does insults, you know, sticks and stones?
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, it's just madness. But the best way to prove that we're not speaking the truth is to prove that we aren't, and that's the problem. They cannot do that.
Yeah.
They never proved it. When now they'll say, "Oh, you're lying. That's not true," but never prove it. When we're coming with evidence and proof,
And receipts.
we're coming with receipts. All right. You know, a receipt is, for those of you who don't know, is the proof of the purchase of something. All right. So, you know, we come with the history, with the relics, and with the scripture.
That's right.
With the relics, with the scriptures, with the history.
right.
With the scriptures, the relics, and the history. And no matter how many way you carve up that cake, when we serve up the cake, it's a cake of truth.
That's right.
And they're serving up fables and lies. Can we get that scripture?
Okay. This is 2 Ezra 6 and verse 27. It says, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which had been so long without fruit shall be declared."
And so that's what's hurting them. The fact that the truth is being declared, so they're so afraid of the word of the truth that they created this word, you know, the semantics word.
That's right.
And the Bible talks about a man named Shem. All right. And then so basically I Googled it. I asked the AI, and the question was, why do Jews who don't acknowledge the authenticity of the New Testament accept Sem over Shem
Right. That's a good question.
of the Old Testament?
That's a great question.
Because they don't acknowledge the Old, because it is written in the New Testament. Wait a minute, you don't acknowledge the New Testament.
That's right.
Here's what the answer. Let's go back to the answer. It says, JOOs don't accept the New Testament as authentic because it contradicts the core J-ish beliefs. But why is everyone an anti-semantic then? Why are they not Shemantic?
That's right.
All right. Why are they? Huh?
That's right.
Okay. So it says, Yahushua is the Messiah, which J-ism denies, introduces new laws, and I'm kind of showing you how to get around this. If you're paying attention. The J-ish Bible, the Tanakh, is historically used to justify persecution, viewing the Torah Tanakh as the complete covenant, while the intake in the New Testament claims the new covenant, in which it doesn't, because the New Testament doesn't make the New Testament is basically a testament of the apostles and the disciples teaching the Old Testament to the Israelite foreigners. All right, that's the part that they don't want to acknowledge. It says it's just like they don't want to acknowledge that portion of history about Alexander being shown, with how Josephus and other historians showed how that Alexander was shown by the Hebrews that he was written in the book of Daniel, the prophecies. Because if they acknowledge that, then that would also prove that the Lord controls what's going on earth and who they really are.
And validate
that he said it will validate the scriptures that they're set up and that they're that fourth kingdom. But anyway, it says the Old Testament Tanakh is the foundation of J-ish identity, containing eternal covenant with God, whereas the NT is viewed as a separate, non-J-ish, often offensive religious text. And so they look at it as, but yet they hide behind a word that's in the New Testament, because the man's name is Shem. All right? And it's not Sem.
That's right, brother.
So it should be Shemites, not semantics.
Right.
All right.
And it's funny because I got Luke 3 here and 36 and the KJV and the NLT. The KJV says Shem, but which was Luke 3:36, which was the son of Canaan, which was the son of Arphaxad, which is the son of Shem, which is the son of Noe, which was the son of Lamech. But then in the NLT says Shelah was the son of Canaan, Canaan was the son of Arphaxad, Arphaxad was the son of Shem, Shem was the son of Noah, Noah was the son of Lamech. So he knows he's playing games. That's why they do the different translations, and then they manipulate things. They want to muddy the waters because they want to muddy it as much as possible to hide our identity from us.
Yeah,
and to hide their identity from us.
That's right.
That's that dust.
That's right.
That's that dust. Where it says Cain, it says dust shall thou eat. That represents he's throwing out confusion.
But then I also asked it a second question. And the question was, where exactly in the Bible did the name change from Shem to Sem? Because I'm getting so tired of this anti-Sem shit.
Right.
All right. As a way to avert truth, as a way to avoid a conversation, as a way to avoid an explanation. Because if you ask them a question, you're anti-semantics.
Right.
I just asked you a question.
Yeah, right.
All right. You hide behind that instead of dealing with the issue. The time, I said time and date. Keep in mind, proper names don't translate.
Right.
All right. So that was the question that I gave to the AI. So the AI said the transition from Shem to Sem is not a name change within the original biblical text. So why are you using semantics? All right. It says, but rather a difference in transliteration across different languages, versions of the Bible. Where in the Bible it appears, it calls itself answering all my questions. In the Old Testament, books such as Genesis, First Chronicles, and most English translations like King James Version, NSAB, and NIV, which primarily translated from the original Hebrew Mosaic. However, the name is rendered as Sem in the New Testament book Luke. But we just read that they detest the New Testament. Why is it that you're using a New Testament name?
That's right.
You see, it makes no sense whatsoever.
That's right.
Well, you swear by the Old Testament only, but you're using a name from the New Testament. It makes no sense.
And if you go
because you know why? Because then if you start looking up if you're looking up the name of Shem, you're gonna see all these other Shemitic families.
Right.
You're gonna see all these other Shemitic races.
Which includes
Right? And it's not just the converts, because that's what they are, and Ishmael. You're gonna find Moab and Ammon and Elam and all these other Shemite nations. Then you have to ask yourself, well, who are they? It's all to avoid the truth about who they are. Bring out whatever scriptures you have.
If I want to hit that definition in that Luke of Sem, and it'll go to I'll pray the pronunciation.
Strong's G 4590, same.
And it'll say root word of Hebrew origin, Shem meaning name, eldest son of Noah.
So not only did they change that, then they also use an Assyrian script.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and the Assyrian script is Aramaic.
Yeah.
Aramaic is not Hebrew,
Right.
but yet they're saying that this is a Hebrew language. Aramaic is not Hebrew. All right, there's a difference.
That's right.
But go ahead.
Then it said same, what they're saying Sem is, for example, Shem, and they'll tell you right there if you go do your due diligence. But how many people are going to actually go do their due diligence? They do that intentionally, like you said, to send people off.
to cover their tracks. I got one to back up real quick if I may. This is Genesis 4:12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. And what we see is the actions of a fugitive. It's just like watching a movie. Was that with Harrison Ford? But that was Fugitive.
Yeah, The Fugitive.
The movie was called Fugitive.
Yes.
Yeah,
The nigga was going to hotel room, changing his face, changing his name. How many times these motherfuckers have changed their name? How many countries have they been kicked out of, man? Because the scripture says, where he is not known, he will do a mischief. Can somebody grab that real quick, man?
Well, you got to remember Moab called them the name stealers.
Yeah. I was watching your video and
All right, that was the name of that the so-called Chinese referred to them in the 6th and 7th century. They said, "Beware of the name stealers." All right, these people
body snatchers.
Because because they took all of Asia and then they started calling themselves Japhetic, or they let people believe they were Japhetic.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why so much confusion within Christianity now. Those pale people in all throughout Asia, in Western Asia that you call Eurasia, those are Edomites. All right, those are Japhites. They took over Japheth's land. But that's what happens when you don't teach about the third kingdom. When the third beast is what I meant to say. Go ahead.
Why you got dumbass J Brews teaching that the white man is Japhet. Stupid motherfuckers. You don't know about history. You don't know about migration patterns.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And so, go ahead. You got something?
I got your precept, whatever you want.
But I don't want to go before that.
No. Go ahead. Then I'll play this video.
All right, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, Sirach 19:26. There's a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly.
Right, I'm being oppressed. They're talking about me.
I'm in danger.
Yes.
As you dropping bombs and shooting people and
digging tunnels in fucking New York with fucking baby fucking shit underneath there, man. Go ahead.
But inwardly he is full of deceit.
Inwardly he's full of deceit. This little fucking rat. Master Splinter looking fucking with the damn curly fries on the side, man. I am but a little man. You know, he hanging his head down sadly, but this motherfucker he's that red horse that took peace from the earth. All wars are bankers' wars. If you never heard that term, but let me finish this out real quick.
Verse 27, Sirach 19:27, casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not.
Yeah. What is this about me being killing everyone?
Hey, I had typed it in on Chat GPT. I said, because I was comparing the tunnels under the Brooklyn underground. I was comparing it to Pennywise the Clown. I was trying to say that it was a Malachite type shit. But then, long story short, man, they said Chat GPT said that the tunnels underneath Brooklyn was satire. You didn't see that it was the Mandela effect. It wasn't real. You never saw that.
It was
That's
the
what Chat
Mandela
GPT
effect.
said. I got the thing on my phone. They told me I never saw that. I said,
there's nothing to see here. God damn.
These are not the druids.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me play this short video
Go ahead.
of this Edomite pastor going in on Amalek, and we keep telling you here at Great Millstone. I know I have been for years now, and now people starting to see it, that there literally is a war between Christianism and Jayism. They're starting to clash. All right, and the rabbis are pointing at Christianism, saying that they're Esav, and the Christians are pointing at the JOOs and saying no, they're Esau.
The Bible warns us that Israel of today, I want you to understand this, is not Hebrew nor of the sons of Jacob. I want to say it again.
That's that J-Brew doctrine.
State,
They are
nation
Hebrew.
of Israel. They are not Hebrew. Neither are
They are Hebrew. Okay, let's get that straight. They're the Hebrew Edomites. They're Jacob's brother. They aren't of Jacob. He's got that right. They aren't Jacob, but they are Hebrew because they are of Jacob's twin brother, Esau. Okay? Which in the third kingdom, somebody get that Maccabees and hold on to it. In the third beast that's spoken about in Daniel, and somebody get Daniel 4:17. Edom was that third beast in Daniel the 7th chapter. And in Daniel 14:7, he told you that third beast turned into the fourth beast. All right. The Romans came out of the Grecians. That's why it's called the Roman Greco. Okay. All right. So in a sense, in a way, the third just transitioned into the fourth, and the fourth beast was wounded but lived. All right. And it went up, and it went on his belly. It went to dust, and it was rebirthed again during the Renaissance, and eventually America came out of that. So America is the extension of, and the rabbis are pointing that out. All right, and the Edomite Christians are furious. Okay, so that's why Edomite Christians like this are taking to the offensive and attacking these, you know, these small hats or little hats.
They the sons of Jacob. When you try to tell somebody this, it's like there's cognitive dissonance. They can't think through the statement of what you're saying. They automatically think that any person that joins the nation and becomes an Israeli is actually an Israelite of Old Testament, but that simply is not true. The Ashkenazis, they are not Hebrews. If you don't know what that is, I want you to look it up, and I want you to educate yourself. The Khazarians, they are not
See, he's
Hebrews
wrong.
at all. I want
When we hear
you to look it up and educate yourself and understand.
When we hear false doctrine, we have to correct it. They are Hebrews. They're the Hebrew Edomites. What he needs to be saying is that they're not Japhetic. That's also them trying to give the Esau a pass.
That's right.
Okay.
That the majority of the people that live in the modern day state of Israel are actually Europeans, and they do not practice anything from the Bible. The majority of them are absolutely atheist. Can you imagine a European atheist trying to argue with you and tell you, well, I am God's chosen people? You say, but you're a European and you're an atheist. How in the world could that make you God's chosen?
Now remember, Europe was made up just like whiteness. You go to the Bible, and Europe is not written in the Bible. Asia is written in the Bible. When they're talking about Italy and Spain, where's Italy and Spain? It's in Asia.
That's right.
All right? And they started calling it Eurasia, and then they started calling it Europe. So they made that shit up. All right? All it to hide the fact that they're the Edomites.
People. In fact, in 1 Peter 2, it literally says that believers who were not of a nation are now God's chosen people by faith in Jesus Christ. That's 1 Peter 2. You need to read it. That's written to saved believers, the church, the congregation of the upright, the assembly.
Now let's correct that. Go to Peter when Peter and see exactly who Peter is talking to.
It's 1 Peter 1:1. It says, Peter, an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. It says, elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahweh, the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua Mashiach. Grace unto you and peace be multiplied.
So not only was he talking to the scattered Israelites, but he's only speaking to the scattered elect of Israel, because not all Israel is Israel. So the rest of the 2/3 that were hearing it, it wasn't even to them.
Right.
It was this message was the book of Peter is to the elect scattered of Israel, the strangers that are scattered.
I got it in the GNT. It says, this same verse says, 1 Peter 1, in verse 1, it says, Peter, the apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, to God's chosen people who live as refuse scattered throughout the province.
That's a good translation right there.
Yeah, throughout the provinces of Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia.
The refuse.
Greetings.
Yeah.
So once again, we proved our point. Okay, we could actually stop the video right there, but we cut the hell out you. Right.
When they use the word refuse, that goes to show you that where you get the word ghetto.
So he's telling the truth. He's cutting Esau and he's cutting himself. So let's let him finish putting his foot in his mouth.
That trusted in the Lord Jesus Christ, and it's written for all nations. Modern Israel is not Semitic. I want you to
and that's not true. What no one is Semitic.
That's right.
We just
That's the whole
proved you.
point.
And no one is Shemitic. They're actually Shemitic. Right. All right. They're Shemitic, and they're not, and they are Shemitic. They're just not the right type of Shemitic people.
Can I back that you real quick?
Go ahead.
This is Genesis 10 and 21. Unto Shem also, the father of the children of
Shem?
Eber. It says Shem.
Okay.
It shouldn't be Shem.
Yeah,
It
right.
should be Sham. All right. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber. And Eber is where you get the word Hebrew from, right? From the past. So these, whatever he's about to say now, are Hebrew, all right, which is descendants of Eber. right? The brother of Japheth the elder, even to him were children born. The children of, this is verse 22, the children of Shem, Elam, Asher, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. And if you go into the history, Elam goes there with the East Indians, Asher, the Assyrians, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram, right? These are the, if I jump down 31, these are the sons of Shem after their families and their tongues and their lands after their nations. If you go into the lineages of Esau, Edom, it's going to come back to Shem. You go to Chinese and Japanese, Moab and Ammon, they're going to go back to Shem. You go to the Israelites, we're going to go back to Shem. You go back to Asher, Assyrians. So that's even the Lord told us not to abhor.
Yeah.
It didn't say Edomite in the literal. It was actually Aramite, which is the sons of Aram.
Right.
That would go back to, that's why the Lord said we were brothers with them. We were close knit with them, but they're not us, but we're knitted to them. You know, the scriptures give you the lineages, but you have to go into the scriptures. Now, see, Esau.
Now, but if you use some, you're cutting all of them off.
They will not find it in the Old Testament at all.
See, but then that's why it's so suspicious, you know, so odd that they would use, as they despise the New Testament, is the J-ish within J-ism despise the New Testament. They're offended by it, but yet they use it instead of using the Old Testament, because the Old Testament shows their lie. There are many Shemitic races we just read about. All right?
Understand that. Surrounded by Semites, yes, but they're not actually Semitic at all. Again, I remind you, I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. The synagogue of Satan is here. It's real. Zionism is a devilish conspiracy, and most Christians are completely ignorant of these verses.
Yeah. If I may say, Elder, they're ignorant of the fact that they're Talmudists. They don't see. They use the Torah, the Tanakh, as a fucking front, man.
It's a shield.
It's a shield. Yeah. Okay, we're the people. They went to the length of even creating a language. Right. That shit that they speaking over there is made up.
Well, they took
I have the definition of it.
They took the roots of our language and they added German, Slavic, Arabic,
and then they use the Aramaic instead of the actual Hebrew.
Yeah,
it's all a lie. I always tell you that the fact that they use the Aramaic script, that they use the Assyrian script, is the evidence of their fraud.
That's right.
All right. In the definition of Yiddish, it tells you a Hebrew, Slavic, German language written and printed in Hebrew, and it's not even Hebrew, printed in Aramaic characters. So they took a whole nother language, attached their language to it, attached the Hebrew alphabet to it, and created a language, and then said that's just them. That's exactly what they did. And there's evidence of this fraud, and yet you people still want to believe them as they rule over you.
Let me back you up real quick. This is Zephaniah 3:9. For then will I, now if you're the real Israelites, this will mean that you have to take part of this prophecy. If you don't, that means you're a liar. Zephaniah 3:9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language.
That's right.
That they may all call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent. First of all, you call him Hashem. All right, you will not call him Yahweh. His name is dreadful to the heathens. And he said the Lord is going to return to the Israelites a pure language. So it's not going to be Yiddish. It's not going to be blended with Slavic and vowel points. There's no vowel points. There's no vowels in Hebrew. It's just it's just the ABCs of Hebrew. The true Aleph Bayat, which is the alphabet.
And it's no coincidence that Elder Menatizah is actually doing a lesson on the Hebrew alphabet in the Psalms 119 as we speak. He's breaking it down letter by letter every day. All right. But now that you said that, you got something?
I have the Yiddish definition.
Kind.
It says Yiddish.
He's a very wise man.
It says the full German name is Jiddisch, Jewish German. In English, the word has been adopted in German as Jiddisch, the language used by Amalekites in Europe and America, consisting mainly of German. And if you keep looking at it, it says Yiddish also involves Germanic languages. It says German languages, Swedish.
And they call them Amalekites?
No, I call it Amalek. It said Jewishes.
Okay. But this is this is another short video, and it's labeled "The J-ish Politician and Slave Owner Who Was the Brains of the Confederacy." All right.
You have to go look at who owned the slave ships. And guys, people, they'll do everything they can to tell you it wasn't Jews owning the slave ships. It was Jews owning the slave ships. I've checked. I've looked through the logs, not just the conspiracy stuff. Go look at slave ship logs that are available. Go look at the registrations on the ships. Go look at who was in control of the ports. Charleston, South Carolina, New Orleans, and St. Augustine. Those were the big three. Those were the big three. And that's where most of the slaves were coming in. The southern plantation slaveholding culture was not a Christian, white, southern United States thing. It was a Caribbean, Jewish way of life. You have to go look at who owned the slave ships.
So when I tell you that the wasn't even trying to look, but of course, that's why they would do that. But what, once again, that is the Christians now trying to throw
them under the bus.
You see, when I keep they are at war with each other. So it's like if they are a kingdom divided. They're like, no, it was them. No, but you benefited from, you bought the slaves. You ran the right, and it's so now they want to put it on the little hats. Throw them under the bus.
Oh, can I bring this out real quick?
Bring it out.
This is Psalms 55:9. Destroy, O Yahweh, and divide their tongues.
And that's exactly what's happening. Psalms 59 and 5.
55:9. Destroy, O Yahweh, and divide their tongues. For I have seen violence and strife in the city.
That's right.
All right, and it's all stemming from you guys, man. And everybody's seeing all their problems, whether it be financial, whether it be ideological, whether it be, because you got China now. They saying we tired of our boys being lady boys and all this sweet shit getting pumped to our fucking people. Yeah. They're realizing that all this filth, whether it be porn industry, all of it,
masculine ass women.
What did that nigga say in Devil's Advocate? Fucking the nigga that played the devil,
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. He said, "Who can deny that 20th century was all mine, Kevin?" He said, "All of it." All of it is stemming back to these guys, and that's the reveal. That's the reveal. It's the back to elder.
Man, that's heavy, bro. That's a good scripture.
I got the one you quoted, Psalms 59 and 5. I know it's a misquote, but it's Psalms 59 and verse 5. Thou, therefore, O Yahweh, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, await to visit all the heathen. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressors. Selah. They return that evening. They make a noise like a dog and go round about the cities. Behold, they belch out their mouth. Swords are in their lips. For who, say they, doth hear? But thou, O Yahweh, shalt laugh at them. Thou shalt have all the heathen in derision.
And they're in derision and divided right now. And I just gave you 2 videos with Christians attacking the little hats. Did the live show, the little hats were attacking the Christians and calling them Esau. He said, America is finished.
I got a precept.
Bring it out, brother.
Yeah, this is Sirach 21 and 27. It says, when the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul. So, yeah, just going to what the elder going into, like you got these Christians, Edomite Christians versus, it's small hat. They all the same, you know what I'm saying? They all devils.
And it's funny because I just went to listen to Elder, and I went to the Google and said Jewish slave ships, and then the AI came up with, they were a small part, and they only had a few, not much, just a few, and they minimized it, But then I said, let me switch the question around. Give me the list of Jewish slave ship, the other slave ships. Then give me a whole slew. House is a small part. When you got the ship Abigail, the ship Crown, the ship Nassau, the ship Four Sisters, Anne and Eliza, Prudent Bay, Hester, Elizabeth, Antigua, Betsy, Polly, White Horse, Expedition, Charlotte. And these are just some of the...
Let's see what the guy had to say.
But then they go tell you they had a small... They try to minimize... because they use AI to minimize. See, now the brother got the full list. All right, and the full list right here, you can see it right here on the screen. All right. So, but they said there's a small part, like oh, there was just a few of us.
Minimize it. But let's listen to what he had to say again. Now that
you have to go look at who owned the slave ships. And guys, people, they'll do everything they can to tell you it wasn't Jews owning the slave ships.
And conclude
it was
controlling AI.
Jews owning the slave ships. I've checked. I looked through the logs, not just the conspiracy stuff. Go look at slave ship logs that are available. Go look at the registrations on the ships. Go look at who was in control of the ports.
Right.
Charleston, South Carolina, New Orleans, and
St.
St. Augustine.
Ports.
Those were the big three. Those were the big three. And that's where most of the slaves were coming in. The southern plantation slaveholding culture was not a Christian, white, southern United States thing. It was a Caribbean, Jewish way of life.
And look how he just like, scooted the Christians, white Christians, right out of it. Like they didn't do nothing. Like they didn't buy and purchase all these slaves from these. Man, come on.
And it shows you.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, but like this, Amalek, he paid for the ships. Amalek hired niggas to run them ships, man. Who you think was running them ships, man? The low level fucking low level Edomite, man.
And that's funny you say that because I got right here. It says, first, few white people even owned slaves. Slavery was a rich man's pursuit. And slavery did not exist amongst the middle and working classes of the white people. Guess who was really running it? It was the people who owned the money. Who owned the money, who was running everything. Right. It was them Steens, them Steins, them you wish you were us. All right? And like you said, they'll put things under and people underneath them who are the face of them. It's the same thing they've been doing right now. They're the face of America, but you don't see them with in America being the rulers. You'll see like just a regular Edomite. But then every single president does what? Go over there to Israel. They go in front of that wall and they go ahead and put the little small beanie thing on, and they'll go.
Which is completely not biblical.
That's right, brother.
Actually, the Bible speaks against it.
That's right.
It even tells you when that became a thing, and it was really against the scriptures. But
that's right. And they'll go bob and weave and go ahead and hump the wall. And then, matter of fact, it was one You Wish You Were Us that came out not too long ago and said that your dictator T himself, Nero, he said he's our first You Wish You Were Us president.
Yeah. And then there was a video that was running around the internet. So I can't look like they scrubbed it because I can't find it anymore. But basically, it gave you the whole breakdown that when he converted in 2017.
That's right.
It said he actually converted in 2017. But I'm gonna play another short video, and then I still want to get those two scriptures in Daniel about, because that's the problem with Christianity, is that the lack of the history of the third beast.
Jewish historians record old Jewish documents showing how the slave trade was so thoroughly Jewish that slave auctions throughout the Americas had to close on Jewish holidays. Brazil received far more African slaves than North America. A Witzner, another official that...
So they love to call them African when they know that they're not.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then even showed you in that movie, the what was it? Giveth Us Free. What was that movie?
Amistad.
The Amistad. The two little girls playing patty cake on the deck of the ship, slave ship, saying, Yahweh, Yahweh. We know it's Yahweh, but why would two little African girls be clapping hands and saying Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh? Why would they be singing a patty cake song to the Lord? And what would that? How would that? And then somebody tried to come up with the excuse that they were being taught on the slave ships. That's what some right.
He's someone teaching.
So right, so they was having class on the slave ship.
Whipped on their back at the same time.
You're getting beat for learning how to read and being taught on the slave ship.
Well,
this shit makes sense.
Make it make sense, bro.
Can I add something to that, Elder?
Absolutely.
Because in that previous video, he kept mentioning South Carolina. It was one of the big ports.
Yeah.
The proof of that is the man Billy Simmons. If y'all remember the Israelite who knew he was an Israelite, they grabbed him up from Madagascar and forced him to be a slave. So I'm gonna just read his overview. It says, this is off of Wiki. Billy Simmons was an African American, they say JWO, from Charleston, South Carolina, one of the few documented black Jays living in the antebellum South. Simmons was a scholar in both Hebrew and Arabic. It says Simmons was born in Madagascar. Simmons claimed to be a descendant of the Rechabite tribe mentioned in Jeremiah, a claim that two cantors and other
Cantor is a rabbi, by the way.
Yep. And other J authorities supported.
Now they have female cantors too. I met one. Oh yeah.
Purchased by white J enslavers, Simmons was taken into captivity and brought to South Carolina. A newspaper editor in Charleston enslaved him and forced him to deliver newspapers. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, it's just more and more evidence, but let's continue.
Jewish Historical Society, in his book Jews in Colonial Brazil, pages 72 and 73, wrote, quote, the buyers who appeared at the auctions were almost always Jews, and because of their lack of competitors, they could buy slaves at low prices. If it happened that the date of such an auction fell on a Jewish holiday, the auction had to be postponed. Studying the Jewish histories of the New World, I began to learn of a carefully recorded Jewish history.
Now this is that KKK guy, David Duke, I believe. So once again, white Christian nationalists are ousting and throwing Jewish people under the bus, and calling them, and they're also calling them Esau at the same time that the Jewish people are calling Esau. It's entertaining to me. It really is.
Because you and I are not permitted to know about. I discovered that many centuries before the transatlantic slave trade, the Jews had dominated the slave trade in the entire Western world for the last 2,000 years, even as far back as Roman times. Duncan Wagnall's Jewish Encyclopedia, Volume 10, page 48, writes, quote, the trade in slavery constituted the main source of livelihood for the Roman Jews. In the 5th century, Pope Gelasius permitted Jews to introduce slaves from Gaul into Italy on the condition that they were not Christian. In the 8th century, Charlemagne explicitly allowed the Jews to act as intermediaries in the slave trade. In a history of the Jews from Babylonian exile to the end of World War II, Jewish historians Jewish documents showing how the slave trade was so thoroughly Jewish that slave auctions throughout the Americas had to close on Jewish holidays. Brazil received far more African slaves than North America. Abe Witzner, another official of the Jewish Historical Society, in his book Jews in Colonial Brazil, pages 72 and 73, wrote, quote, the buyers who appeared at the auctions were almost always Jews, and because of their lack of competitors, they could buy slaves at low prices. If it happened,
he started repeating himself.
And he said, almost always did you wish you were ushers. He just said it always. And then you go Google it now. It's it was a few, just a small amount. It's trying to minimize it. This is what Esau does.
Well, that show goes to show you that once again, just like he's controlling the UK and Australia, he's controlling AI because the thumbnail that I use for my videos often, it reads is this one right here. Because I simply asked the question to my AI or to AI, not my AI. Let me find it. Oh shit, it's in that phone. Fuck. Wait a minute. I might have put it in the receipt folder. Hold on. Did I? But yeah, there it is. I asked the AI, are the Israelis in Israel today the ancient Israelites? And what AI overview, I'll let you see it. It says, no. The Israelis are not the same as the biblical Israelite. It highlighted that on its own. All right, you see that?
I see the blue highlight.
All right, the AI highlighted that portion on its own. So I actually use that often for my video screensaver.
No.
That AI is saying it. It said no. They are not the same as the biblical Israelites, though there is a direct lineage because they're Edomites. So they are Hebrew. Israeli is a national citizenship for the modern state of Israel, which includes many ethnic and religious groups, while Israelites refers to the ancient people who descended from Jacob, telling you that they're not. Okay?
And if you don't go into the receipts, if you don't go into the history, you're not gonna understand the mystery.
Well, they're gonna see it on that's the thumbnail for the video that you holding it up for. That's the thumbnail.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's telling you that they are not the same as the people of Jacob. So what these 3 different Edomite videos that we played, they told you the truth. Now let's go to somebody go to Daniel and start reading maybe about Daniel 9 and go right to the third beast. All right, because we're skipping past Babylon, we're skipping past the Medo-Persians, we're going straight to the third beast. And see, this is the duck and dodge of the foolishness of Christianism. All right, they duck and dodge this third beast. And Yashawamba and myself, this is a subject that we kind of
specialize.
Unofficially we tag team on it, because every time I do one, he get charged and he do one, and then when he do one, I get charged and I do one. All right, so it's like, yeah, we just gonna come off the top ropes on these fools. All right, but go ahead, get those real quick.
Anybody got it?
Yeah, Daniel's 8.
Daniel 7.
Oh,
Started the third king. I think it's about verse 6 or 7.
Book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
Right, and so that leopard, when you watch the movie Alexander, all right, on his arm, leopard, and he wore a headdress that was like that of a leopard. All right, because a leopard is known for its swiftness in its combats, in its skills in combat. All right, even so, let's put it this way: if a leopard were as big as a lion, they will probably defeat a lion. All right, because their fighting skill surpasses that of a lion. The lion's just too big and strong for it. All right, but go ahead, continue.
It says, verse 7. After I'm gonna finish verse 6. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Daniel 7 and 7.
And those 4 heads are the 4 generals.
Yep.
All right, he had 4 generals: Cassander, Lysimaeus, Seleucus, and who was the 4th one? And Ptolemy, the water. Okay, go ahead.
After this, verse 7. After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth.
Right. So that was the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was born out of the third. So essentially, they're the same beast. They really are. The third beast system morphed into the 4th beast system.
Same people there.
Right. Same people. Because the Romans acknowledged all the Greek gods and their Greek forefathers. They still held Alexander to a standard. And you have to understand, through Alexander of Macedon, all right, through Alexander the Edomite, all right, through Alexander the Amalekite, all right, Alexander of Macedon was an Amalekite, all right, and through him, the Edomites came up. The first time in their existence on earth were they the leading class people. That was the first time that they got the dominion. This is why civilization started with Alexander.
Right.
You know, all proud and shit.
Right.
So fruitism and moism and bestiality and all this other weird shit started with you.
Right.
All right.
Which historians prove that the Persian and Mede Empire was actually greater than the Greek and the Roman Empire.
Oh yeah.
More states, more provinces,
Yes.
more land.
They ruled better than
They had some sort of some set of morals that were much higher than that of the Romans, because the Romans were perverse in all ways and in judgment. They mistreated people horribly.
Yeah, they say they ruled with oppression. That's how the Romans ruled compared to the Persians and the Medes.
The shadow of Rome is very vast.
Yeah, that's how we know when we read the Maccabees when it talks about, it says the Romans, they were honorable and all that.
Yep.
That's how you know that was Japhites.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right. That wasn't talking about the people who took it over. As a matter of fact, somebody hold first Maccabees and now and somebody get before we get it, somebody get Daniel 4 and 17, because Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
This is Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. It says, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of men."
And that means every single nation, all these kings and queens and premiers and presidents or whatever the fuck, they are all the bases of men. They're all base, starting with Esau, Edom, and Amalek, and themselves. Right? Yes, Mark? That's it?
Yeah, that was the point.
Right.
That was the point, brother.
And I hit first Maccabees 1 then. 1:1. And it happened that after Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
All right, and look, and so Alexander's father, Philip, right, was an Agagite.
That's right.
Right. All right. The Agagites were sons of Agag. Agag was a son of what's his name? Amalek.
Yep.
And Amalek is a grandson of Esau. So you can't get around this biblical lineage of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So the self-proclaimed white man and self-proclaimed J-ish, they're and I just find it entertaining that Christianism is pointing the fingers at the little hats, and the little hats are pointing fingers at but right now the Christians are winning because they got 3 hitters in a row. We just played. They hit back real hard. Right. The empire hit back. But go ahead, brother.
And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Who did that sound like today? Who just go around and got military bases everywhere?
Still doing it now.
Okay.
And now it's backfired on them because that's a whole other lesson I want to get into because this Venezuela thing then fucked them up.
Yes.
All right. Because they didn't mess around and let Russia set up
and China
shop and China and then set up shop in Venezuela. And now, they can reach you real easy now. Go ahead, brother.
And went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted.
So he went throughout Asia, conquering, taking over all Japhet's land for all you dumbass Christians out there. All right. Alexander the Edomite, all right, during the third kingdom, took over all. Could somebody get Acts 9:29 and Acts 6:1? Okay, because what he did was he took over all the he was taking over all the strongholds and all the anyone who had an army, he went to war with them. Right, to the point that there was no one left for him to fight. Go ahead.
You said Acts 9 and what?
29? Acts 9:29. Let them finish that, and then.
All right. He gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries, nations, and kings who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, that had been brought up with him.
Those 4 wings that were mentioned in Daniel, the 7th chapter. All right, those 4 wings on the back of that leopard. Go ahead.
And parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
And what them damn Edomites do?
Oh,
act like niggas.
That's right.
Because they are the real niggas.
The original niggas. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule everyone in his place.
He didn't conquer Asia is the biggest continent, man. He didn't conquer Asia and parts of North Africa. He didn't left y'all all this shit. And what they fucking do?
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
Yep, they've been fighting ever since. All right.
So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
And the one motherfucker, you remember his name? Luak.
I got a quick one.
The one that was trying to bring peace out because you had
Cassandra.
Yeah, Cassandra.
Yeah.
They got together and killed the one guy that was trying to bring them together.
Let's not fight.
Right.
This is not what Alice would want.
Oh, you want us to come together? All right, we're gonna come together.
Yeah, we got you. They're gonna come together to kill you.
Yeah. That's what they did, man.
They call it the Diocletian Wars.
Yeah.
And when they all fought against each other.
We just went and just had a class.
Yeah, you did.
demonic bastard.
Spirit, bro.
It's horrible.
Right. So the one that was trying to, we're brothers. We're supposed to rule this together. And they was like fucking. Shut up. Fuck. Go ahead, brother.
This is Revelation 6 and 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Right, because Esau is covetous by nature, even against his own.
It says, and that they should kill one another.
He all in the window shade. That nigga house bigger than mine.
Right.
He ain't sharpening his knife. No.
Never satisfied.
It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given to him a great sword. And then that's going into even with Daniel 4 and 17, you know, he set it up over the earth, the bases of men. Right. And there's no more base than the basis, which is Esau Edom, who came into power during this time of the Maccabees that we're reading with Alexander the Great and then his 4 generals. You know,
base.
Yeah, they
you go
right. They very low.
I got going for you.
Yep.
It's, just to pair with that, it's Psalms 140 verse 1. It says, to the chief musician, a song of David. It says, deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man, preserve me from the violent man. It says, which imagine mischief in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war.
And it's and they empowered right now. It says they do all these things because it's in the power of their hand. You see, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. What you think you're gonna do with that? It says the wicked shall do wickedly.
Right, and history is repeating itself because those same wicked men are right here today, constantly declaring war on each other. They just cannot get along. Y'all, they have everything, but they always want more.
Yeah, insatiable.
You know, they the real Debo.
Yeah,
they want to spend Red's money.
Yep. And then they want to do they want to rule. See, ain't nothing wrong with having a ruling class mentality, but like it says in that Samuel, those that rule must rule justly in the fear of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And so they don't. And so they're not righteous rulers. They're not fit to rule. They're not fit to judge. They're like
I put up a meme about that today that's gonna have them all pissed. I know that.
That's it.
So these people are not fit to rule.
That's it. And so only a time was given them. So this is what the Heavenly Father is showing us. You can't rule with no other way and rule and produce peace on earth, the welfare of the world.
And it was also punishment to us too.
And that was a part of our punishment, and a part of our purification and perfecting, all right, process that we had to go through. But if I can get a quick couple of them real quick, because this second Esdras chapter 15, verse 5, it says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. You see, fulfilled according to the will of the Heavenly Father. This is prophecy. And he's given this devil the power of the earth. But like it says real quick, and I got you in this Sirach chapter 10, verse 4, it says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. See, in the meantime, in between time, he has set one over it that's the basis of men.
What scripture says, even in the land of uprightness, he will do justly.
That's it.
Look, you got it, bro. I'm gonna get what I know what Satan's seat is. Hold on, you know what? You got the crown, bro. Put the crown on, man. You know, sit in the chair. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you in the land too, and you got power over the people. All right, you got all this. Oh, you got the Bible in your hand. What it says, what is thou to do to declare my statutes?
Right.
And everything. Well, he says he's called Egypt to err in every work thereof.
Yeah.
As a drunken man, because the scripture says the Lord have formed the crooked serpent. See, you're here just to show us what the fuck not to do, man.
Exactly.
You know, you're here to do everything wrong. Every work, everything you touched, everything you had to change. The Lord gave you it. You know,
look, when Esau opened his mouth, shit falleth from it. Go back to that. No, did you finish that Maccabees? You read all the way up to Evil's word?
Yeah.
Okay, con. So yeah, so basically, what happened at that point, before you go any further, go up to verse 41. when we were forbidden to call ourselves an Israelite, you know, the Judite, a Benjamite, and
How
all
do I
that.
know you lying?
And then we gotta read
the Acts.
Yeah.
How do I know you lying? Because your mouth's moving.
Right.
Right. You're breathing. That's
Right.
This is
Well, it says he cometh not but to steal, kill, destroy, and lie,
Yeah.
deceive.
As soon as he be born.
Speaking lies.
Yeah.
That's it.
First Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to this whole kingdom that all should be one people. And that's the same thing they're trying to do again.
Exactly.
And everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the
But with them on top, though.
Right.
That's right.
Right. Leave your customs, leave your ways, leave all the
Follow this Christmas.
Right,
Follow
exactly.
this, you know.
Exactly.
Follow this Hanukkah celebration.
Yeah.
Not the proper way.
That's right.
Yeah. Because if you notice, at every Christmas village in and around Chicago, and what I've seen in other cities, there's a gigantic wrong type of menorah. The 9 one.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
Bigger than the Christmas tree, overlooking the whole thing.
Which they made up. They literally just made it up.
Yeah, of course
Right.
they did.
It has no.
It's like
It literally is made it up.
It's like some Kwanzaa shit.
It's just showing you that we're not the people.
Yeah.
How do you write?
Yeah.
How do you show me that you're not the people without saying you're not the people? A 9 candle menorah.
I looked it up, but it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
They pulled it out their ass.
Pretty much.
It's not in the scriptures.
Because the scriptures tell you 7 knobs and they break it all the way down.
And the Lord appeared within. As a matter of fact, even within Christianity, you would think that they would rock more menorahs. It said that he appeared in the midst of the 7 candlesticks. He didn't appear in the midst of a cross.
That's our emblem.
Right.
All right. So, but anyway.
Yea, many also the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
This is how the Israelites became Gentiles.
That's it.
They became Gentiles. So when you talk about the strangers and the foreigners and the Israelite foreigners, this is what you're talking about. They made life very difficult for them. They even put women to death and then babies. Go ahead.
For the kings had sent letters by messengers into Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Did that bitch not come on TV the other day and say we're gonna make your life impossible?
Yeah.
Right. You won't be able to date, go on a dating site. You won't be able to get a job. You won't. It's gonna fall right. We're not. You won't be. Yeah. You speak against the J-ish. They're gonna. Yeah. They're gonna create a social credit system. They're doing it right now. If you go on if you go on a dating site and in America, why you say, wait a minute, you J-ish? How you gonna do this in America? But this is what they're threatening. If you say anything against them, they're gonna make a profile for you. So when you go on a dating site, if you go to get a job, if you go to do anything, if you go to travel, it's gonna pop up.
Right.
That you're a hater, and then you're gonna get canceled.
Man, and if I can add on teaser coin, that's why they summon all these 1,000 pastors over there in Israel to appease to the new generation. And that's also why Trump was just also declared the first Jewish president.
Right.
That's doing the bidding over in America and for the Israelis.
So it's not about American values or American anything. No freedom of speech.
Wow.
All right, and you know, so if you disagreeing with someone and not believing in their religion, it was never an issue here in America.
Verse 45.
A quick definition.
Go ahead,
You
brother.
said during this time was how the Israelites were being Hellenized, right? And so I got the Merriam-Webster's definition of Hellenist, and it says Hellenist, a person living in Hellenistic times who was Greek in language, outlook, and way of life, but was not Greek in ancestry.
Say it again.
It says a person living in Hellenistic times.
So someone living in that area in that time,
who was Greek in language, outlook, and way of life, but was not Greek in ancestry.
and that goes for that same thing is going on here in America. We are Americanized.
Right.
We're over here from another land.
Yeah.
We've been taught English. We've been taught their ways and their ideologies and their customs, and we have assumed them. That doesn't mean that's who we are.
Yep.
It's the same thing going back to the ancient days in Greek. The Israelites that lived there, they were called Hellenistes.
And it says, especially a Hellenized Jew.
There you go. So with that being said, Acts 6:1 Acts 9:29. We're gonna wrap
I
it.
got Acts
Which
9.
I got this.
Go ahead.
This is Acts 9, verse 28. And when he was with them coming in and going out at Jerusalem, and he spake boldly in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, and disputed against the Grecians, but they went about to slay him.
All right. Now read it in
NLT for you?
Bible.
Yes, sir. It says Acts 9 and verse 28. So Saul stayed with the apostles and went all around Jerusalem with them, preaching boldly in the name of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. He debated with some Greek-speaking Jews, but they tried to murder him.
There it goes. All right. So when it says so all the other scriptures in Acts that talks about there's no difference between Greek and Jew, that's because those Greeks were still Israelites. That's why there was no difference between them.
Right.
Physically, they were the same family, the same lineage.
That's it.
All right. What was different was the Hellenization. And the J-ish, or not the J-ish, but the Israelites who knew they were Jews were all stuck up in sedity about it and didn't want the awakening to happen. And basically, they didn't want those tattooed up, crazy haircut wearing, muscle bound, half naked ass niggas to be a part of them. All right.
And now the funny thing is, now they use that same scripture. There's no Jew or Greek to add. Oh, now Chinese can make it. Now Japanese can make it. Anybody else in their mama can make it. When the scripture, and if the Lord was being technical on Greek and Jews, it would only mean the Greeks would make it. But that's not, the Lord lets you know, it's not talking about the Greeks as an Edomites. It's talking about the Israelites who were Greek-speaking Jews. It's that simple.
Negronius Maximus from the 5th floor.
Right. That nigga Negronius Maximus.
Hey, I want to come. Negronius wants to be in the truth too. Right. They got a mohawk
on the 5th floor.
He got a tattoo that says Negronius Maximus on it.
Big ass old nigga.
No, it's Negro Max.
Negro Max with a tattoo.
Go ahead and bring it out, brother.
This amplified a little better than these two.
Well, then let him go. Let me read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Matter of fact, you read. I'm looking at the James 1 and 1 in the Amplified right now. And you said it.
That's crazy because I had
this
Amplified version pulled up. Right?
I'm looking at it right now. Matter of fact, I just read it. It says James 1 and 1. The bond servant of the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach to the 12 Hebrew tribes scattered abroad and among the Gentiles in dispersion.
Yes.
Greetings.
Yes.
Hey, look, man, this is plain, bro. And I gotta read again. James 1 and 1. James, a bond servant of God and of the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to the 12 Hebrew tribes scattered abroad among the Gentiles in the dispersion, greetings. This Bible, the book of James, you can't take these scriptures and apply it to Edomites.
First verse.
That's the first, right? So that's basically the headline of a letter.
The preamble.
All right. If I'm like Brother Jeremiah, Brother Kedar, Brother Ariah, Brother Amar, that letter's to him.
Introduction.
All right. You can't pick up his letter and be like, "Yeah,
I want to
no, it don't. That brother. Come on, man.
That's against the law. Can't go on people's lunch.
Okay.
Well, check this out.
Right.
Check this out. Go ahead.
That's my letter.
This is the book of Acts chapter 6 and 1. It's the Amplified version. It says, now about this time when the number of disciples was increasing, a complaint was made by the Hellenistic Greek-speaking Jews. It's in parentheses too.
Man, I gotta get me an Amplified.
Hey, read it over, brother.
And a hard copy. I mean, I gotta get
It's bringing back the book of Acts chapter 6 and 1. It's the Amplified version. It says, now about this time when the number of disciples was
somewhere vocab close slamming his computer, kicking his shit.
It says, now about this time when the number of disciples was increasing, it says a complaint was made by the Hellenistic, and it has the parentheses around it. It says Greek-speaking Jews against the native Hebrews. It says because their wives were being overlooked in the daily serving of food.
So there it is, man.
Yep.
The Israelites that knew they were Israelites didn't want to have nothing to do with Negronis and his crew.
You're right.
Right?
Circumcision.
He's like, yeah. He's like, no, you tattooed up, crazy mohawk wearing.
Yep.
We don't know, man. Fuck that.
Yep.
Y'all niggas stay in the world. We no, this for us.
Hey, and then some of the Israelites had the saying, it's better to eat pork than to speak Greek.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so
It's
those-
like, how dare you? And it's like, wait a minute, man. Don't you know that many of them were forced to do this at the edge of the sword?
Exactly.
Or some of them died, you know, and then their parents were killed, so they just grew up speaking. You had no guidance, so you live in a land of Greeks where you forced to speak Greek.
And they show you that in them. They show
How
you
else is the falling away going to happen?
Right.
That was also a part of the continuum of the falling away.
That's it.
They show you that in that movie, School Days. You had the niggas that was with the sororities and shit.
Right.
But they was all both going off. You know what I'm saying? You had the Afrocentric niggas.
Right.
They all was off.
I am a Greek.
Big
you
brother.
had the fucking Koofy nigga.
Big brother
And it was all fucking lost.
Right.
And you all
Black
out.
and
At
black.
the end, they had the nerve to say, wake up.
Yeah, right.
Wake up to another dream. Nigga.
Right. That's right. You got right. Because you're not an African and you're not a Greek. You just double lost.
Yeah.
All right? But yeah, we're going to get rid of rap.
You
Any
got
more
something?
scriptures? Go ahead, brother. We'll close with that one.
This is St. John 7:35, straight to the point in the NIV. It says, the Jews said to one another, where does this man intend to go that we cannot find him? Will he go where our people live, scattered among the Greeks, and teach the Greeks? Perfect. Straight to the point.
There it is, man. Perfect. There, yeah, that NLT one, right? That was the NLT one.
That was the NIV.
Yeah. That hits pretty hard, man. So
That's why it's good to go to this other translations, because
I got to get that amplified.
because that it gives you more layers to the scriptures.
God. Hey, so with that, man, the point is proven, man. All right, and we're Shemites, you know, not Semites. There's no such thing. They made that up. So with this, you know, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Shem, Yahushai, Shem, Rakadash,
Kwam Yasharallah,
Kwam Yasharallah,
Ba Ba Ba.
Ba Ba Ba.
Turn those machines.